The Islamic Revolution of Iran, also known as the Enqelāb-e Eslāmī, stands as one of the most transformative political upheavals of the 20th century. It led to the overthrow of the United States-backed Pahlavi monarchy and the establishment of a theocratic republic under the charismatic leadership of Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. This revolution reshaped Middle Eastern geopolitics, influencing domestic governance in Iran and its role on the world stage. Let's first discuss about the background and preconditions of the revolution. Before the revolution, Iran was governed by the Pahlavi dynasty. During the time of Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, the Shah of Iran, he pursued rapid modernization policies known as the White Revolution, including land reform, expanded education, women's suffrage, and industrial expansion. These reforms deeply altered the fabric of Iranian society, undermining traditional elites and bringing Western ideas to the fore. While modernization created new wealth in urban centers, it failed to alleviate growing social inequities and dislocated many citizens. Despite explosive economic growth, from approximately $45 million to over $20 billion in oil revenues between 1950 and 1976, Iran's wealth distribution was uneven. Urbanization soared, but so did inflation and unemployment. Migrants to cities faced poor living conditions, fueling resentment toward a regime seen as indulgent and corrupt. The Shah relied on the secret police known as Savak, trained by the United States to suppress dissent. Opposition parties, media, and religious institutions were targeted. Dissenters were jailed or tortured. This brutal repression widened the gap between the regime and its people, alienating broad swaths of Iranian society, including liberals, secular nationalists, leftists, and clergy. Many Iranians perceived the Reza Shah as a puppet of the West, especially the United States. This sentiment was aggravated by his decision to adopt a Western style, which fostered cultural resentment and religious opposition. Beginning in 1977, widespread criticism from intellectuals, lawyers, and journalists questioned the increasing authoritarianism of the Reza Shah's rule. The publishing of protest letters and literary events critical of the government crystallized public opposition, leading to demonstrations in urban centers. Specifically, the arson attack on Cinema Rex in Abadan, which claimed more than 400 lives, served as a catalyst. Equally, on the 8th of September 1978, a massive protest in Tehran ended in tragedy when security forces opened fire, killing numerous demonstrators, a turning point that radicalized the opposition. Soon after, a general strike in the vital oil sector severely weakened the economy and the Reza Shah's grip on power. Amidst these crises, Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, although exiled in Najaf since 1964, emerged as the moral voice of the revolution. His messages, delivered via cassette and smuggled leaflets, galvanized support across religious, national, and social lines. Clergy and bazaars served as critical networks for organizing demonstrations. By late 1978, strikes, protests, and semi-insurrectional clashes with security forces paralyzed the country. Reza Shah's declaration of martial law failed to restore order. Pressured by escalating disorder and diminished United States support, Reza Shah left Iran under the pretext of seeking medical treatment. He left the government in the hands of a regency council and Prime Minister Shapur Bakhtiar. In the meantime, Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini returned triumphantly to a reception by millions in Tehran, marking the symbolic end of the Shah's rule. On the 11th of February 1979, the Pahlavi military surrendered and the monarchy formally fell. Khomeini emerged as the dominant authority. From 31st March to 1st April 1979, a national referendum was held on transitioning in the name of God to the Islamic Republic, yielding an official 98% vote in favor. A constituent assembly, dominated by clergy, drafted a constitution incorporating velayat fiqh, or the guardianship of the Islamic jurist, granting sweeping authority to the supreme leader. Khomeini assumed this role in December 1979. However, from November 1979 to January 1981, a group of students supported by Khomeini seized the U.S. Embassy, taking 52 Americans hostage. The crisis ended in January 1981, further deteriorating U.S.-Iran relations. Alongside, the Islamic Republic engaged in widespread purges of leftist, secular, and even moderate religious elements during the Cultural Revolution. Thousands were arrested, and universities and institutions underwent Islamization. Therefore, from 1981 to 1982, Iran saw systematic massacres targeting perceived political threats, particularly leftists, under charges like enmity against God. Hundreds or thousands were executed. The new regime enforced Sharia-based restrictions on women's dress and conduct, dismantled Western cultural practices, and imposed stringent penalties for immodesty. Altogether, the revolution triggered reconfigurations across the region. The U.S. lost a powerful regional ally while the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan later in 1979. Iraq, under Saddam Hussein, invaded Iran partly to deter the revolutionary Shia model from threatening Arab Sunni rule. The war resulted in massive casualties and economic ruin, ultimately strengthening national unity behind the regime. The revolution also inspired Shia groups across the Middle East. Iran supported Hezbollah in Lebanon and pro-Iran Shia groups in Iraq, intensifying Sunni Shia tensions and contributing to a sectarian dimension in regional politics. Iran framed itself as a champion of anti-imperialism, appealing to leftist and nationalist currents. This hybrid ideology enabled Iran to support groups like the Palestine Liberation Organization and African liberation movements. The Islamic Republic continues to remain built upon Velayat-e-Faqih, proffering a fusion of religious authority and republican institutions. Nevertheless, Iran continues to face criticism and remains a central player in regional power dynamics, backing Hezbollah and Palestinian groups, pursuing nuclear capabilities symbolizing a gesture of resistance against foreign interference. For many Iranians, it remains a source of national pride. The flames sparked in 1979 continue to burn with new urgency, echoed in recent war with Israel. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to our channel, Sociopedia.